Most people miss their daily protein target without noticing, and that gap shows up as low energy, constant grazing, and slower recovery. In national food surveys, breakfast is usually the lightest on protein, even though a small shift in the morning can change your whole day. According to a clinical nutrition paper from 2014 that compared even versus uneven protein across meals, spreading protein more evenly helped the body build and maintain muscle better over 24 hours. So, if you've been saving protein for dinner, today you'll fix that in a kitchen-simple way without calculators or fads. Here, everything is explained in plain language and grounded in real research. This video is educational and not a substitute for personal medical care. Talk to your healthcare professional for tailored advice. First, set your number. A practical daily range for generally healthy adults is to start around 0.8 grams per kilogram of body weight. That's the long-standing baseline described by an expert report from the World Health Organization and partners, and then adjust for age and activity. The PROT Age Expert Group suggests that most adults over 60 may benefit from 1.0 to 1.2 grams per kilogram per day for muscle maintenance and function, because aging muscles become less responsive to small protein doses. If you lift weights or do resistance exercise, a 2018 meta-analysis found that benefits tend to plateau around 1.6 grams per kilogram per day for maximizing gains, with higher intakes offering little additional effect for most people. You don't need to memorize numbers. Pick one of three lanes today. Lane A, the baseline, about 0.8 per kilogram. Lane B, active or over 60, aim near 1.2. Lane C, resistance training and chasing improvements. Aim near 1.6. If you live with kidney disease or have been told to limit protein, your clinician's plan comes first. Second, spread it right. Instead of one giant protein bomb at night, aim for a strong anchor at breakfast, and then steady doses at lunch and dinner, with optional boosters as snacks. Research on muscle protein synthesis shows that a moderate dose per meal can switch on the body's building machinery, partly thanks to an amino acid called leucine. The PROT Age Group and other researchers point to a practical target of roughly 25 to 30 grams per meal for many adults, which is often enough to include about 2 to 3 grams of leucine in mixed foods. Another way to think about it, about 0.25 to 0.4 grams per kilogram per meal for most people. When you front-load breakfast with a real 20 to 30 gram hit, you reduce that mid-morning snack spiral and give your muscles a reason to stay active through the day. People often report steadier appetite when they do this, which matches findings from higher protein eating patterns that are linked to improved satiety and lower spontaneous calorie intake in controlled studies. Third, make it kitchen simple. We'll use 20-gram blocks. Each block is one food or combo that reliably gives you around 20 grams of protein, give or take a few. Stack one block for a snack, 2 blocks for a meal, and relax about the decimals. Examples: 3 large eggs plus a spoon of cottage cheese lands close to 25 grams. A cup of strained yogurt like Greek or Skyr is typically 17 to 23 grams depending on brand. 100 grams of cooked chicken breast gives you roughly 30 grams. Think of that as 1.5 blocks. A standard can of tuna or sardines is usually around 20 to 25 grams. Cottage cheese, about half a cup to 3/4 of a cup, can give 12 to 20 grams. For plant-forward days, a cup of firm tofu is commonly around 20 grams. Tempe clocks higher. A scoop of whey or pea protein is often 20 to 25 grams. Use it as a tool, not a crutch. A cup of cooked lentils is around 18 grams. Pair lentils with an egg or a dollop of yogurt to push it over the top. Bean and grain combos, like rice and beans, add up nicely when you include an anchor, such as an egg, tofu cubes, or a little cheese. Let's build a day so you can see it. Imagine you weigh 70 kilograms and you pick the active lane at about 1.2 grams per kilogram. Your daily target is roughly 84 grams. Here's a realistic plate map. Breakfast, 2 blocks, A bowl of Greek yogurt with a handful of oats and berries, about 20 grams, plus 2 scrambled eggs, about 12 grams, topped with a spoon of cottage cheese, about 5 to 8 grams. That puts you near 35 to 40 grams before 9 a.m. Lunch, 1.5 blocks, a chickpea salad wrap with extra tofu cubes, or chicken breast strips on a big salad. Aim for 25 to 30 grams. Afternoon booster, half a block, a glass of milk or a small Skyer cup, 10 to 15 grams. Dinner, 1 to 1.5 blocks, fish, poultry, tofu, or a hearty bean chili with a side of quinoa and a spoon of grated cheese. Target 20 to 30 grams. You've crossed your line without feeling like you were dieting all day? Why this distribution? A 2014 experiment compared the same total protein eaten mostly at dinner versus evenly divided across breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The even spread produced a stronger 24-hour muscle-building response. And reviews on protein and appetite control suggest that a higher protein breakfast tends to reduce snacking later. It's not magic, it's physiology you can use. Quality also matters, but not in an intimidating way. Health agencies discuss protein quality scores based on how well a food's amino acids match human needs and how we digest them. An expert consultation by the Food and Agriculture Organization recommended a modern score called DIS, which generally rates dairy, eggs, and many animal proteins as high quality, and shows that mixing plant proteins, like legumes plus grains or soy, closes most gaps. The simplest rule in a mixed diet: combine plant sources across the day, and when helpful, add a small anchor like dairy or soy to lift the amino acid profile. If you prefer fully plant-based, prioritize soy foods, legumes, and higher protein grains like quinoa, and consider a pea or soy isolate for convenience. Now, let's turn those ideas into quick kitchen playbooks you can rotate without boredom. Breakfast anchors that land 20 to 30 grams fast. Greek yogurt bowl with nuts and chia. Eggs scrambled with cottage cheese and spinach. Tofu scramble with black beans. Skyer parfait with rolled oats. A simple protein smoothie using milk or fortified soy milk plus berries and a scoop of whey or pea protein. Lunch and dinner anchors. Grilled chicken or tofu over mixed greens with beans and seeds. Tuna and white bean salad with olive oil and lemon. Lentil veggie stew topped with a spoon of yogurt. Tempeh stir-fry with edamame. Baked salmon with quinoa and a side of yogurt dill sauce. Snack boosters, roasted chickpeas, string cheese or a Skyer cup, edamame or a carton of milk. Notice the pattern. 1 anchor plus 1 booster usually lands a full block. Label check simplified. On packaged foods like yogurt or cottage cheese, look for at least 10 grams of protein per 100 grams as a quick heuristic. For breads and wraps, scan for options that list at least 10 grams per serving if you want them to contribute. With plant milks, check that the protein is at least 7 to 8 grams per cup if you're relying on it. Many nut milks are near zero, while soy is closer to dairy. This is not about perfection, it's about making sure your staples actually carry the load you expect. Common roadblocks and how to fix them. Roadblock 1. Breakfast with 5 to 8 grams of protein and a mid-morning crash. Fix: front-load a real 20 to 30 grams using eggs, strained yogurt, or tofu scramble. Roadblock 2. Counting only meat and forgetting dairy, legumes, and soy. Fix: use the anchor plus booster rule. For example, lentil soup, anchor, plus a dollop of yogurt or a slice of cheese, booster. Roadblock 3. Leaning on shakes for every slot. Fix: 1 strategic shake is fine when convenient, but aim to get the rest from food to bring fiber, micronutrients, and chewing-related satiety. Roadblock 4. Fear of too much protein. For generally healthy people, the evidence suggests that intakes in the ranges we covered are compatible with health, especially alongside vegetables, fruits, whole grains, and hydration. If you've been told to restrict protein for kidney, liver, or other conditions, follow your clinician's plan and get individualized targets. Let's lock in a 3-step action plan you can do today. Step 1. Write your number, pick baseline, active, or training lane and compute the daily target once. Step 2. Upgrade breakfast. Choose one of the anchors we mentioned and hit 20 to 30 grams before the day runs away from you. Step 3. Meal prep 2 foundations. Cook a tray of seasoned chicken strips or tofu cubes and a pot of lentils or beans. Store them in clear containers so each meal has an easy anchor waiting. If you like smoothies, pre-portion frozen fruit bags to make one reliable 20-gram block you can add any day. Rapid recap so it sticks. Your daily target comes from body weight and context. Many older or active adults do better with 1.0 to 1.6 grams per kilogram per day. Even distribution across meals helps your muscles use what you eat. 20-gram blocks make the math disappear. Breakfast matters more than most people think for appetite and energy stability. Mix protein sources. Plant-forward works great when you pair legumes, grains, soy, and, if you use them, dairy anchors. Small, consistent changes compound. Steadier energy, easier weight management, stronger aging. If this helped, drop your daily target and your easiest 20-gram combo in the comments. Share this with a friend who keeps forgetting protein, and subscribe so you don't miss next Sunday's breakfast protein guide and recipe pack. Information guides decisions. Don't change medications or make medical diet changes for a condition without speaking to your clinician.